Hi students, in this video I will be doing the final ledger accounts, which is basically the trading account and the profit and loss account, which will carry the bulk of marks for your paper. Okay, let us start. So when you get the question, you want to read through it first. It says the following information was taken from the financial records of two fee traders for the year ended the 29th of Feb 2024. So the first thing that is important is that you establish the financial year. So we know that if the 29th of Feb 2024 is the end of the financial year, it's always to get the beginning, it's 1 month after 1 year before. So 1 month after Feb is March, 1 year before 2024 is 2023, and obviously the year started on the 1st. Okay, it says the business is owned by Ms.KB. Prepare the following ledger accounts in the books of two fee stores on the 29th of Feb 2024. After taking into account adjustments and additional information, close off the accounts. Prepare the calculation that will reflect the capital account balance after the year-end adjustments have been prepared. So it's basically the trading account, the profit and loss, and the capital account balance, but today we're only going to focus on the trading account and the profit and loss account. And so this is my pre-adjustment trial balance. Pre-adjustment meaning that no adjustments have been taken into account. It is your job to take the adjustments into account. And then what I want to show you is that this trial balance is broken up into the balance sheet account section and the nominal account section. The nominal account section is your section of interest. Okay, it's split between the debit side and the credit side. So ideally you want to split this and this here and say that this on the credit side is all of your income. So if you are ever unsure whether something is an expense or an income, look on which side of the trial balance it belongs. And this on the debit side is an expense. Okay, then you're going to go to your answer book, and yes, I know I have a 2023 answer book, but the lines were already drawn, so I decided to use it. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through my nominal account section even before I start attempting the adjustments, and I'm going to fill in the format. So I know in my trading account I have sales. I'm going to open the bracket 10,650,000, and then immediately after that I'm going to go to my debtors allowances and I'm going to minus 105,000, and I already secured a mark. And then I'm going to go to the opposite side. I'm going to say cost of sales, open the bracket 7,100,000. Now notice that I'm not closing the brackets because I must get through all the adjustments first. Then salary and wages. So salary and wages, all of will go to the profit and loss account. Okay, the rest of this trial balance. The rest of this trial balance here, again, income on the credit side, expenses on the debit side, will go to this profit and loss account. And what we are trying to do is break them up into our income and our expenses. Okay, so I'm just going to leave the first line for the trading account depending on where that trading account will lie, either on the debit side or the credit side, after I do my totals. Then I'm going to start with salary and wages. Now I know salary and wages is an expense. And you are not allowed to write in short form. You must write the full word out. So I'm going to say salary and wages 960,000. Then the next one is rent income, 990,000. Insurance, 98,000. Rates and taxes, 107,000. Repairs is 86,000. The telephone is 124,500. Stationery is 56,700. Bank charges, 42,000. Bad debt recovered, no bad debt recovered. Notice it's on the credit side. Bad debts, interest on loan, interest on fixed deposit. Something to note that interest on loan is an interest expense, but interest on fixed deposit is an interest income. Okay, so you could even write your interest expense and then interest income so that you are not confusing the two items. And then water and electricity, that's 99,000. Okay, so now that I am fully done with my format, I go and I start attempting the adjustments. I go one adjustment at a time. If I get stuck, I move on, and then I go back and I see if I can fill out the adjustment, right? But you need to move as fast as possible, but also with accuracy. So it says sales to the value of 90,000 were made on credit on the 29th of Feb 2024. The cost price of these goods was 45,000 and this transaction was not recorded. Okay, so if it was not recorded, it is your job to record it. Sales to the value of 90,000, right? So what are we going to do? We are going to go and add the sale if it is a transaction that was not recorded. And then it says the cost price of these goods was 45,000. So I'm going to add 45,000. Now notice here they gave you the selling price and they gave you the cost price. But for future reference, in the event that they don't give you this and they give you a markup, or they tell you somewhere here that the business applies maybe, for example, a 50% markup, then you're going to use this formula just in case you don't know it. It's the cost price is equal to the selling price over 1 times 100 over 100 plus the markup. Now, when I put this into the calculator, if they told me that the markup is equal to 50%, I will say 90,000 over 1 times 100 over 150. Exactly like how it's written here, I would put it into the calculator. And no, I will not put the percentage sign because this formula already caters for 100. Okay, just as a reference. Then the next one says the owner took stationery for personal use. So we know anything that is taken for personal use is considered as drawings, which is 1,700. It says this transaction was not recorded. Okay. Now, what we are going to do here is that stationery an expense? Yes, it is. Stationery is an expense, so we are going to remove this from our stationery of 1,700. Now, even though this is drawings, okay, drawings is not recorded in the profit and loss account. Drawings is recorded in the capital account. So the only adjustment that you needed to do here was remove it out of the stationery account. Okay. The next one says the rent was received from a tenant for 15 months. So immediately when you see 15, you know that in a normal year, there are only 12 months in a year. So the fact that they are saying 15, it says that rent has been received for more than a period of 12 months. It therefore becomes deferred income or income received in advance. Rent has remained unchanged during the financial year, meaning that there was no increase or there was no decrease in the rent. Okay, so what do you want to do? First thing you want to do is basically draw your timeline. So somewhere in your paper or on your answer booklet, preferably on your answer booklet so that your teacher sees you're working out, you are going to say rent, okay? And then do not skip this. Do not try to do it in your head. Just draw the timeline. So our financial year that we are working with is on the 1st of March 2023. It ended on the 28th of Feb 2024, right? So if we collect it for 15 months, that's 3 months after Feb. So we're going to say Feb, March, April, May. Now, this part here, okay, remember the rule that we discussed in class is that this is my financial period, okay? Anything after this is what I want to kick out. And if something that is supposed to be here was not added, I would put it in, okay? But the fact that this is occurring after my financial year, I want to work out the value of these 3 months and then kick it out. Now, they made our life simple because they told us that we receive rent for 15 months, so we can get the value of 1 month of rent. If we go to our trial balance, we will see that the value of rent income is 990,000. So we are going to take 990,000 and we are going to divide it by 15 to get the value of 1 month's rent. So then I'm going to take my calculator and I'm going to say 990,000 divided by 15. That is equal to 66,000. But this 66,000 is the value for 1 month. So what are we going to do? We're going to say 66,000 times 3 is 198,000. And just an income received in advance is something that we will always remove because it is not within the financial period. Okay, so Now that we have this 3 months, we're trying to kick it out. So we're going to go to our rent income and we're going to say minus 198,000. Okay, then I'm going to move on to the next one. It says a debtor M. Langa cannot be traced and his account must be written off as bad debt. When it says a debtor M. Langa cannot be traced, right? It's telling you that the business has made valid attempts to try and get a hold of this debtor, and his account must be written off. So this person was sitting in the debtor's control, right? And now he's becoming bad debt. So what we are going to do is, firstly, I'm going to go to my debtor's control here and I'm going to say minus 19,000. And then I'm going to go add Mlanga to my bad debt. So I'm going to say bad debts plus 19,000. Okay, the next one. It says water and electricity account 9,000 has not been paid by the 29th of Feb 2024. Right? Has not been paid by the 29th of Feb 2024. Now, the 29th of Feb 2024 is, okay, so I said 28, but it is the 29th, is the last day of my financial year. So it means that this year, water and electricity is an accrued expense because I need to pay my bill. I need to pay the water and electricity. It's an accrued expense. An accrued expense is something that we always add because it belongs within our financial period. And remember, in class, we discussed that the word accrued means owing. So we're going to go to the water and electricity account, which is here, and we are going to add 9,000. Okay. Number 6 says provide for outstanding interest on loan. The interest on loan is calculated at 16% per annum. The interest is outstanding for 2 months. Okay. Now, something that I want to tell you before I move on with this loan adjustment is that I should have showed you here how to reference. Now, referencing your workings is very, very important. I did tell you that you should do your workings somewhere on your answer booklet that is near this question. But for example, wherever you do the workings in your answer booklet, if you just put note number 1 and then I go to my rent income, which is here, and I'll say note number 1. It will show me exactly how I got this rent, right? So the teacher knows, find note number 1 in case there are any part marks involved. Just decide.